Obama says Martin's death is a tragedy. Asks nation to respect call for calm. What's going on, guys? It is Wednesday, July 17, 2013. Really, Mr. President? I find it hard to believe that that is your true message because, if you're watching any of the mainstream coverage, it's absolutely crooked. The mainstream media has proven once again they have an agenda. They are trying to start a race war. They are trying to incite violence. In fact, remember a while back when Susan Candiotti from CNN said on the air, effing N-word? Well, Nancy Grace has kicked it up a notch. She actually says effing COON live on the air. There's a psychological operation here that's just sick. She's implying the 911 tapes were doctored, that when they first came out, that's what they said. I'll put a link to her report. We've all heard the recordings. I've never heard her version of it. But then again, I think they're doing that just to get people, push people's buttons. You got people in LA and New York tearing shit up. I'll put another link here, mainstream media. MSNBC. More white kids need to die in order for Americans to understand racism. More white kids need to die? MSNBC, whoever this is saying this, should be charged with trying to incite violence. How do they get away with that? I'll put a link to it. The Department of Justice, keeping in mind that Zimmerman was found not guilty by a jury, the DOJ, check this out, it's come to this, the Federal Department of Justice asking for tips to help prosecute George Zimmerman. What? I'll put a link to it. Now, the whole country, these people that are out here rioting and jumping on cars and breaking windows and shit, do they have the whole picture? They were only told what the TV told them. Most likely they didn't do any of their own research. They just, it's on the TV, that must be the truth. Now, a lot of stuff wasn't admitted into evidence, including this. From the Blaze, is this Trayvon Martin's Twitter account? Look at his Twitter username and look at the picture. Now, am I racist for pointing that out? Trayvon Martin was a self-proclaimed gangsta. These are the facts. Now, it is a mistake, George Zimmerman getting out of his car and pursuing this guy. But it's my belief George Zimmerman was looking out for his neighbors. Spotted somebody suspicious, might have been about to do something, I don't know. He certainly didn't pursue him in order to murder him. I don't believe that at all. But I'll put a link to this because the public's perception of Trayvon Martin is skewed. They keep using old pictures. What is the one picture of him when he's 12 years old? We all look like innocent kids when we're 12 years old, most of us. He's 17. And if you pull this link up here, actually do a Google search. Just type Trayvon Martin into Google. Do a search and then click on images. You'll see some more recent photos of this gangsta, as he calls himself. Does that make me racist? I'm not racist. I'm just pointing out things that the mainstream media are too scared to say, or they don't want to say it because it doesn't fit their agenda. I'll put a link to Peter Schiff's video. Trayvon Martin was a wannabe gangsta. He's going over the text messages going back and forth between Trayvon Martin and his friends. Listen to some of these messages. Again, I'm not saying that he deserved to die, not at all. I wish George Zimmerman would have stayed in his freaking car. But I do think Trayvon Martin attacked him first. Because if you listen to the text messages, he talks about nothing but fighting. Again, none of this admitted into evidence. I do think the judge in the case was leaning more toward the prosecutor's side. Yet a jury still found him not guilty. And they didn't have any of this gangsta evidence. Bottom link will be to a man I highly respect, black guy. I would be damn proud to stand beside this man. He brings up the issue of where's the outrage against black on black crime. People are killed in this country every freaking day. No outrage, no, It's a good video. It's over on Facebook. Hopefully it'll load up for you. Psychological operation. My hat's off to the mainstream media. You are accomplishing your goal in this situation. Divide and conquer. Got everybody fighting everybody. Out in LA, they're breaking windows and jumping on cars and tearing shit up. And please don't take my pointing out Trayvon Martin's thuggery as racism. I'm not racist at all. That could have been a white kid, a white thug, a white gangsta. I grew up on the streets of South St. Louis City. I knew a lot of white gangsta wannabes. Has nothing to do with his skin color. Doesn't mean he deserved to die. That's the unfortunate incident that took place. And it sucks that this is being used as a tool of division. Mainstream media 24 hours a day. 24 hours a day. Like there's nothing else going on in the world. Think for yourself. Do your own research. Be an independent critical thinker. Come to your own conclusions. You don't have to agree or disagree with me. But always look at all of the evidence for yourself and try to come up with the most feasible answer. The most rational answer. That's all I got. Put all these links below. What else to say? I wish Trayvon was still with us. I wish George Zimmerman didn't get out of his car. But I don't think he did so with the intention to murder Trayvon Martin. I really don't. And apparently the jury saw it the same way, without having the extra evidence. So, I'm sorry if this video offends people. This is the way I feel.